Dallas Police Chief Renee Hall abruptly changed direction this morning and fired Officer Amber Guyger. In a statement, Dallas Police said an internal affairs investigation found that Guyger engaged in adverse conduct when she was arrested for manslaughter.
But just 4 days ago, the chief said administrative action against Guyger could compromise the criminal case in the Botham Jean shooting. Firing Guyger is the most severe administrative action the chief could take. Fox 4's Sean Rabb looks at what changed and reaction to the decision. Sean.
So we don't know what changed, Steve. The chief did not tell us that. She only said that the criminal investigation was now at a point that if she took this administrative employment action, it would not jeopardize what the Texas Rangers and the district attorney's office are doing right now in their criminal investigation. The interview with Guyger was brief. Guyger, her attorney Hall, the chief basically confirming that Guyger was arrested September 9th for a felony, then firing her. 2.5 weeks after the killing of Botham Jean in his Southside Flats apartment, Chief Renee Hall spoke only briefly about her decision to fire Officer Amber Guyger.
As a police chief, my job is to ensure the integrity, the highest level of integrity in this criminal investigation, and that is what I did, and I waited until the critical portion of this investigation was complete.
But no elaboration on the critical portion she referred to, and no word from the DA's office about when the criminal case will be presented to a grand jury. The police department's tweet about Guyger's firing uses the term adverse conduct.
I think the adverse conduct would be anytime you're a police officer and you're arrested for the commission of any offense, but certainly for a felony, a second-degree felony offense, the police department could view that as being adverse to the best interest of the department.
And they saw this as an initial victory.
Botham Jean's parents heard from Chief Hall last night, a conference call with family attorneys.
She had to answer some tough questions from the family, specifically about why it took so long. And she tried to explain that the employment process could in fact impact the criminal investigation.
The termination on the day the 26-year-old is being laid to rest in his native St. Lucia.
Her being fired does get linked to the arrest. That probable cause was found that she committed a crime.
Former First Assistant DA Messina Matson, now in private practice, says while Guyger's employment is settled, what charge the manslaughter suspect will face is not.
The grand jury, in listening to the case, can return a true bill of anything they deem appropriate. So I would tell you murder is not out of the question at this point.
Attorney Jasmine Crockett connected to the protest over the incident among voices who'd been calling for Hall to fire Guyger.
So I'm happy that we finally got to the correct result. But I promise you, if it wasn't for the community pushing on this issue, I just don't think that we would have arrived here at this point.
Dallas Mayor Mike Rawlings released a statement after the termination was announced. He said he agreed with the actions of the chief, calling it the right action in the interest of justice, adding the swift termination of any officer who engages in misconduct that leads to the loss of innocent life is essential if the Dallas Police Department is going to gain and maintain the public trust. Where the community stands and where the public itself stands, the same public calling for Amber Guyger to be fired and now still pressing for her to be charged with murder, well, where that stands, we'll wait and see.